Good morning, students. Let me explain the concept of Hartley oscillator. Hartley oscillator is a type of LC oscillator that generates undamped sinusoidal oscillations whose tank circuit consists of two inductors and one capacitor. In the tank circuit, the two inductive coils are serially connected together, forming a parallel combination with the capacitor. This oscillator was invented by Ralph Hartley in 1915 and hence it is called as Hartley oscillator. In normal LC oscillator, the amplitude of the oscillations generated by the circuit is uncontrollable. Along with that, tuning to a particular frequency is quite difficult. So unlike normal LC oscillator, the Hartley oscillator uses an LC parallel feedback configuration that has self-tuning base oscillator circuit. This is the circuit diagram of a Hartley oscillator. In the circuit diagram, there are two parts. First part, common emitter configuration circuit part. Another part is tank circuit part. In common emitter circuit configuration part, we get 180 degree phase shift, and also its output goes to tank circuit input. When current value collector current is goes to tank circuit, because of that collector current, capacitor is charging, and then again when capacitor is discharging, inductor is charging. The required biasing of the circuit is provided by resistor R1, R2 as the biasing resistor, then emitting resistor RE, while CC1 and CC2 are the coupling capacitors. An RFC is present in the circuit, which is used to abbreviate radio frequency choke coil. In high frequency applications, the reactance of RFC becomes very large, thus can be considered as open circuited, while RFC exhibits almost zero reactance in DC condition, hence do not cause any issues for DC capacitors. So therefore, isolatedly it maintains AC and DC conditions in the circuit. Also, phase shift of 180 degrees is provided by the transistor. The transistor configuration belongs to common emitter configuration, and also the oscillating frequency release and the components of tank circuit L1, L2, C. So when DC supply voltage VCC is provided to the circuit, then with the increase in the collector current will be increased of the transistor, the capacitor in the tank circuit starts charging. So we are already aware of the fact that capacitor stores charge in the form of the electric field. Again I repeat, capacitor stores charge in the form of electric field. So the capacitor continues its charging until it gets fully charged, but once it gets fully charged, then the capacitor begins to discharge through inductor L1 and L2. This discharging of the capacitor results in charging of the inductor, and we know inductor stores the charge in the form of magnetic field. Again, in the inductor stores the charge in the form of the magnetic field. So the complete discharging of the capacitor will automatically cause the charging of the inductor. So similarly, it will happen until the end of the stage. This continuous charging and discharging will provide sinusoidal oscillations at the output. So however, it is noteworthy here that these oscillations are damped oscillations, so as amplitude is decreasing continuously. This decrease in amplitude is the result of internal resistance of inductor that cause heat loss in the circuit. So and is denoted by the I square R. So it is to be noted here between point A and B in the circuit. Phase shift of 180 degree is provided by the tank circuit. As here point C is grounded, so that's a particular time instant when A is positive, then B will be negative with respect to C. Therefore tank circuit provides a phase shift 180 degree. As we have already discussed, the tank circuit generates damped sinusoidal oscillations, so that it is required to amplified because very very weak signal weak signal comes, so it should be amplified. So it is required to be amplified, otherwise the oscillations will die out after a certain point of time. So to overcome this problem, the output of the tank circuit is provided as input to the again common emitter configuration transistor. In common emitter transistor configuration, the input terminal is base terminal. The sinusoidal signal when provided to the transistor, it gets amplified. The feedback energy is taken by the mutual inductance between inductive coils L1 and L2. The amplified output from the transistor then provides the charging energy to the capacitor in the tank circuit to produce further sinusoidal oscillations. This amplified output compensates for the losses generated by the tank circuit. So thus the tank circuit provides continuous sinusoidal oscillations of constant amplitude at the output. In this way, tank circuit works. Here, for frequency of oscillations, how to measure the frequency of oscillations means the one mathematical formula we used in Hartley oscillator, F is equal to 1 by 2 pi LC. Here in Hartley we consider two inductors in the tank circuit, so that the equivalent inductance L equivalent equal to L1 plus L2. The mutual inductance between the two inductors must also be taken into consideration. So while calculating equivalent inductance, L equivalent equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2m. The 2m denotes the mutual inductance of Hartley oscillator. So the overall oscillating frequency is given as F is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of L equivalent C. L equivalent is again already we calculated L1 plus L2 plus 2m. These are the advantages of our Hartley oscillator. It provides sinusoidal oscillations at constant amplitude, and also the oscillating frequency can be changed by the use of a variable capacitor. Circuit is not complex here. Very simple circuit. Practically a single tapped coil can also be used in place of two inductors in the circuit. Disadvantage, due to the presence of harmonics, sometimes distorted sinusoidal oscillations are generated sometimes. So it does not find use in low frequency applications, because all LC oscillators are used in high frequency applications only. RC oscillators only are used in low frequency, so that's it does not find use in low frequency oscillations. And also the applications of Hartley oscillator are widely used in the generation of sinusoidal waveform of a certain frequency. These are suitable for radio frequency applications. Find their use in radio receivers. Thank you.